Well, what's good, everybody? It's the Fins Up Network. It's Ben Morgan, and it is time for some stock up, stock down as we head into week 10 when your Miami Dolphins get set to host the Cleveland Browns. First home game for the Dolphins in the last 3 weeks. And then after this game, it will be time for a bye week. So you know what that means. Got to win this game because you can't lose the game heading into a bye week because, man, as fans, it just makes that bye week go extremely slow, waiting for the next opportunity to get back in the win column. So, heck, man, let's get this damn win. Let's make it 4 in a row heading into the bye. But before we get started, got to hear from you. Drop your stock up, stock down candidates in the comment section. And if you like what I've got for stock up, stock down candidates, go ahead and give this video a like as well. But I'm going to jump into mine with a stock up. Actually, let me get this out of the way first. Stock up, Tua, Waddle, Hill. It's to the point where these guys could just be on the list every single week, the way that they've been performing ever since Tua's been back. So my stock can't get much higher for those guys right now. So just consider those 3 stock up along with the rest of my list. But here's my first official one. It's the newcomer. It's Jeff Wilson. Makes his debut after arriving midweek, proceeds to lead the team with 51 rushing yards on just 9 carries, adds 21 receiving yards and a touchdown through the air. And that touchdown through the air, great balance, shed that tackle, towed the sideline, got in for 6. Got to get those touchdowns when you get the opportunity. Did that, but the most underrated thing that he did, and check out, there's some clips out there of him in pass protection, going out of his way, getting that last guy, clearing him out, giving Tua that extra quarter to a half second to get the ball downfield to Waddle and to Hill and to Sherfield, protecting the quarterback. Gotta love a running back that can stick his nose there and get the job done. But man, for him to come in and just look like he's been part of this team since week 1, since that's legit what this looked like, I liked what I saw. And if last week was any indication of the backfield moving forward, I think we're going to see a healthy split between him and Raheem Mostert for the most part moving forward. So liked what I saw for Jeff Wilson, automatically right away giving him a stock up. Let's go stock down here because this one is pretty damn encompassing. You can see it there. Stock down any and everybody responsible for containing Justin Fields. Look, when you allow a quarterback to run for 178 on 15 carries, multiple people failed at their jobs. The spy didn't work, dropping in coverage didn't work, man didn't work, random blitzes didn't work. The frustration level of watching missed tackle after bad angle, after not maintaining rushing lanes, basically letting Fields find an opening and get at least 10 yards every single time, that frustration level was at an all-time high. I know you feel what I'm talking about. Man, allowing the most rushing yards to a quarterback in a single game in NFL history, when you specifically planned for that to be a big part of their offense, that's where things get a little bit alarming for me. But there's always a but on this one. We got to keep in mind, this defense isn't operating at the capacity that they anticipated and they expected as the season entered. Think about that. They go all off season, all training camp, planning for certain guys and a certain scheme. So many of those guys are out. Byron and Brandon Jones, Nick Needham, Trill Williams, all with season-ending injuries. Well, Byron, I mean, we'll have to see how that plays out. But as of now, we haven't heard a peep from him. And then Xavier Howard, Emmanuel Ogbah, Raekwon Davis, Andrew Van Ginkel, Xavier Howard, Keenan Cross, and Kader Kohu have all missed time. That is a ton of bodies. You can't run the defense that you planned all offseason for when you're missing that many people. So keep that in mind. That's a huge component of this. But there's another but. We got to find a remedy for containing these dual threat quarterbacks because it's been an issue, especially if, however you want to word it, playoff time comes. Because the Bills and the Ravens, we're talking AFC teams here. Bills and the Ravens have dual threat quarterbacks. And teams like the Chiefs and the Bengals, they've got quarterbacks that don't rely on their legs, but they can get it done with their legs as well. And all those teams that I mentioned, they are more complete teams than the Chicago Bears. So yeah, fixing this issue is easier said than done, and we do have some time before our next dual threat quarterback game. I believe I looked at the schedule. Week 15 is when we play the Bills. I don't know on Josh Allen's status right now. I think they're going to make, as of recording this, I haven't heard the latest update. So I hope we get this issue fixed before the next time comes. So as Mike McDaniel would say, get that shit fixed. However he worded that, let's get that fixed. Let's do a stock up. We got to bring it back up here. Kader Kohu, an 81.2 Pro Football Focus grade, highest of all Miami Dolphins defenders last week. And he wasn't flawless. When you give up 32 points on defense, it's really hard for anyone on defense to be flawless. But to step in and help limit Fields as an actual passer and to finish second on the team with 8 tackles, Kader Kohu continues to be a pretty damn solid fill-in player as an undrafted free agent. And I believe it was on Monday, Mike McDaniel said, status quo for Byron, not coming off PUP, means he's not practicing, means he's not playing this week. So expect to see Kader Kohu continue to get run in that Dolphins secondary. Now, if you look ahead to this week, you get the Browns. That means a more traditional passer in Jacoby Brissett. Yes, he can get it done with his legs, but he's not near the runner that he once was. And while the Cleveland Browns are not loaded by any means at wide receiver, Kader Kohu is still going to be tested because Jacoby Brissett knows the Dolphins. He knows Xavier Howard, and he knows damn well to likely try to avoid Xavier Howard. So if the Dolphins can limit Nick Chubb on the ground, you can bet that Jacoby Brissett is going to have to target this secondary, and he's going to have to target a guy like Kader Kohu. Let's do a stock down here. And I'm going to give Jason Sanders a stock down, but I'm not going to be super hard on him. And hear me out on this one. So Mike McDaniel said that a gust of wind caused the chip shot miss last week against the Bears. But here's my issue with that. In the AFC, we play in New England, New York Jets, so New Jersey, and in Buffalo every single year. We're going to have to deal with wind and bad weather. That's part of it. We can't get out of that. The other thing that this boils down, in my opinion, is trust. He missed a couple from 50 earlier this season. We understand that. We can live with that. But now when you have a miss from 29 yards out on your resume, does that start getting into Mike McDaniel's head? Does he lose trust with him in a crucial situation? And that's the part that scares me, the mental part with kickers. It's like golfers. I make that golfer analogy a lot on this. The yips. Does he have confidence in himself? Does the coach have confidence in himself? You know what would be nice, and I don't want to settle for field goals in this game against Cleveland, but it would be kind of perfect if right before half we get a chunk yardage play and we kill the clock and he gets a chance from 50 and he just drills it at the buzzer right before half just to get rid of those yips. Just to see one go between the uprights would be quite the lift. So I don't want to settle for field goals, but I could go for a 50+ from Jason Sanders this week. Let's end this dog with a stock up, and that is one that's well deserved. It's Robert Hunt. Didn't allow a single sack, hit, hurry, or pressure in 56 snaps in that game against the Bears. Pro Football Focus had a pass blocking grade of 87.3 for him. This guy, along with Connor Williams, have been the absolute rocks on this offensive line. And I guess you can throw Teron Armstead in there. I'm not going to hate on that, but since Armstead has missed some snaps and some time with the injury, I can't give him rock status. But those two have just been the rocks on this offensive line. You look at Robert Hunt, he's rarely getting beat. Ever since Tua's been back from concussion protocol, 3 games, been sacked a grand total of 2 times. A large part of that is Tua's pocket awareness is significantly better. He makes offensive linemen better. Yes, he absolutely does. His pocket presence is a lot better than the likes of Skylar Thompson and Teddy Bridgewater. But a lot of this credit also has to give to guys like Robert Hunt. And put it this way, if Miami keeps this run going, if they keep the win streak going, if Tua continues to pile up these passing numbers, and hey, guess what? If we can establish a run game with Raheem Mostert and with Jeff Wilson, Robert Hunt is a guy to watch for earning that first Pro Bowl selection. He has been absolutely that good this season. But that is what I got for this week's version of Stock Up, Stock Down. But like I said, I want to hear yours. Make sure you are dropping those in the comments as well. Stay tuned. I will be back on Thursday with the keys to victory and again on Saturday with my final preview and prediction video for the Dolphins versus the Browns. But that is what I got for today, Dolphins fans. And until next time, fins up.